Valen, thank you very much indeed, and very warm welcome. And it's getting warmer here. It was freezing cold earlier on, but the sun has started to kiss Alice, the University of Fort Hare, and this is where we are celebrating a centenary. The celebrations have been carrying on since February this year, actually, and under the theme celebrating 100 years of academic excellence. And many luminaries have come through this university, studied, and also taught. Z.K. Matthews is the name that comes to mind. And a little bit later on, President Jacob Zuma will be unveiling the architectural designs to the Z.K. Matthews House in Alice, here in the Eastern Cape. And just to tell you, a cash injection of some order of 13 million rand has been set aside to refurbish that house. Z.K. Matthews graduated from this university in 1924, obtaining a BA degree. He went on to other Ivy League schools, LSE in the UK, Yale in the States. And to tell us a little bit more about him, his legacy, and this institution, I'm now joined by the Minister of Science and Technology, Naledi Pandor. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I guess for you this is quite an emotional day, exciting as well because of the connection with your grandfather.
Well, good morning and morning to the viewers. It is certainly emotional, but I think much more than our grandfather. My grandfather would never want us to really only refer to him. Many others, Professor Jabavu, Professors Mtimkulu, Professor Jordan, there are so many luminaries associated with this institution, and we must remember that. And of course, latterly, we've had the presidents, President Mandela, President Mbeki, Mr. Govan Mbeki, who was president of the First Senate of South Africa's Parliament, Minister Matsipe Kasiburi. So there are many, many, many persons who came through the gates of this illustrious institution that has continued its history of offering academic opportunities to young people of South Africa. And there are so many of its graduates that are making a contribution to our country, including my DG, Dr. Mjwaka, who began his studies here.
All right, so I don't know how much memory you have of your grandfather, but share some of the memories that you might have. How do you remember him, and particularly in this part of the world?
Well, we spent many happy Christmases with our grandparents at their home here in Alice. The house was called Puting because we are Puti, Puti. It was the home of the Puti. And all the children and grandchildren would come here in December, and we'd have an absolutely fabulous time running in the yard and enjoying being with our grandparents. Our grandfather was a presence, really, but I suppose was very busy because he was involved in the movement, the struggle, and so would be away a lot. And from my grandmother's memoirs, I noted he spent quite a lot of time in detention at various times. But I do recall the memory, gentle person, very loved by the family, and my grandmother was really, I think, the heart of the family.
So these refurbishments that are taking place to the house, it must be quite a thing for you to have the government recognize this house in this way.
I think the family certainly appreciates what the government is doing to revive both memory and heritage. And this is being done with several families that have a history of contribution. I think much more needs to be done, and I'm very pleased that Minister Mtetwa is developing this heritage route, liberation heritage route for South Africa, because it would certainly be a fault if we were to forget our history. You know, if you don't know where you come from, then you lose direction.
Melissa, unfortunately, we've run out of time. We're going to have to leave it there. But thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts and your memories of Z.K. Matthews. But also, as you said, the many, many people that came through this institution and created the history that we're celebrating here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was the Minister of Science and Technology, Naledi Pandor, speaking to us about her memories of ZK Matthews, who was a student and a lecturer at this institution. All right, now let's go to that house that's going to be undertaking some significant refurbishments, and we'll see. Jemsana is there. Wusi, tell us what's happening there. I guess it's an interesting day ahead at the ZK Matthews house.
How many minutes?